Welcome back, Saints. I'm Zach Graff.
And I'm Brett Overvold.
And this is SFHS Today. In world news, over $1 billion of methamphetamine has been seized in raids across Melbourne, with 3 people being charged over the mammoth bust. The Australian federal government says it's the largest onshore seizure of the drug.
In national news, a Florida man was arrested last Tuesday on 2 counts of animal cruelty. 39-year-old Stephen Howard was seen throwing a pit bull off a 12-foot bridge into a small river with rocks lining both banks. The pit bull was found underneath the bridge and suffered large cuts. Also making headlines was the recent shooting in Hawaii at Pearl Harbor in a naval shipyard when an active-duty seaman opened fire. 2 employees and the gunman were pronounced dead. 1 employee was also wounded and is in stable condition. Pearl Harbor was celebrated Saturday on December 7th to remember the attacks that brought the U.S. into World War II.
In local news, longtime district employee Larry Brockner lost his farm home to a fire last week. Brockner has been appreciated for his work with students and staff alike in his capacity as a member of the technology team. His home was declared a complete loss. His GoFundMe is below if you would like to help or make a donation.
In school news, as second trimester takes off, the construction process is still going strong. Jake Ferguson and Louisa Fontana are getting some updates on the construction happening at SFHS, and we will bring that to you next week. Hey Zach, how'd your car do in all the snow we got last week?
It did pretty well. I have 4-wheel drive, so.
That's great. With all the snow we've gotten lately, you need to be a lot more careful when the roads are slippery. Reporter Easton Ogg went out and got some winter driving tips for everyone.
With winter approaching fast, the roads will soon be covered in snow and ice. Here at SFHS, we put together a few tips for you to help make winter driving a little bit easier. Accelerating slowly is something very important to do in the winter to ensure you don't slide off the road or get out of control. Feathering the gas pedal or slowly accelerating is a very important tip to follow when it is snowy or slippery. Applying lots of brake pressure will just make your car's wheels lock up, and most of the time you will not slow down. Pumping the brakes can help you slow down a lot faster and smoother.
If you have ABS, you do not need to do this. You can brake how you normally would.
When coming up to a turn, take your foot off of the gas. This will make sure your tires do not spin as you are turning and make you go out of control or possibly slide off the road.
If you don't feel like rear-ending somebody this winter, follow these driving tips and techniques for winter driving in slippery roads.
In more school news, Magical Choir and AM and PM jazz bands performed for the public at the Mall of America on Wednesday.
Not only that, but the Magical Choir also sang at Lee Carlson's church prior to their performance at the mall. Carlson was the founding choir director of Magicals at St. Francis.
Really enjoyed my Thanksgiving break, but now that we're back in school, I realize I really look forward to another trimester of media production.
Yeah, it's great to be a part of everything that goes into our show. Reporter Allie Frank went out and got some behind-the-scenes footage of what actually goes into producing one of our episodes.
Hey Saints, I'm Jack Henderson.
And I'm Jared Hayter.
And this is SFHS Today.
Here, SFHS Today, the broadcast show, is only one part of SFHS Media. So we have a website, and that has written stories. So not only are journalists out covering things in a visual way, they're also out writing stories as well.
So typically on Mondays as a class, we'll critique the week before's video and see what we did good and what we did bad. And then we'll fix it that week from Tuesday through Thursday. Typically I'll go out, get interviews, and do whatever package I have. And then on Fridays, I typically stay after class or after school and cut together the main show and help out Smo as much as I can.
It's really more than just putting a package together. What we're doing in the class is journalism, and so it's all about telling a story.
So my typical week includes like brainstorming with the class, like getting the story ideas so we know what we're doing throughout the week, helping with scripts, helping with editing people's video packages together, and running the TriCaster and teleprompter so that we have the anchors for the week done. And then I stay after school on almost every Friday editing the show together.
And what I try and teach through this process is you have to go out and talk to a lot of people before you find out what the real story is. And then for every package that we do, we try and have a number of different viewpoints and interviews to tell the story. We also, for SFHS Today, have main anchors, and those main anchors have to write the script for the week. They have to do the research to find out what's happening around. Everybody on staff needs to be pretty aware of what's happening in our community and our school so that they can tell those stories. And then we also have a sports segment that goes on, and those anchors are in charge of writing their own script. I'm really proud of it. For the past 3 years, we've won Best of Show at our state convention, and people might not expect that from Little St. Francis, but we work really, really hard here to tell a professional story and to understand the difference between entertainment and news.
Our school is full of talent. Reporter Parker Peterson went out and got some people to perform some odd human tricks for us.
It's the random question thing, ding.
This is Parker Peterson, and I'm interviewing people with stupid human tricks. What's your most stupid human trick?
I can do cool flips.
What's your most stupid human trick?
I can backflip.
What's your most stupid human trick?
My thumb's pretty jacked up.
What's your most stupid human trick?
I can put my arm over my head.
What's your most stupid human trick?
I can do this.
Why don't we head over to sports with Jordan?
What's up, Saints? I'm Jordan Haller, and this is sports. The boys basketball team lost a game last week on Tuesday against Irondale by 7 points. They played one of the best games they have played in a long time. Wyatt Schroeder led the team with points, and freshman Matthew Bothan played a very good game and stood out. They have an away game at Anoka at 7, and they played Friday at home at 7 against Henry Sibley. The girls basketball team lost against Anoka last week and played Buffalo on Friday. They have an away game at Sartell today at 7, and they play Minneapolis South at 7 on Friday. The boys hockey team played Mora last Tuesday and had a great game and won 6-2. They also played Pine City on Friday. They play at Becker this week on Tuesday at 7, and they have their first home game at 7 against North Branch on Thursday. They also have an away game in Champlain Park at 7 on Saturday. The girls hockey team won 5-2 against Long Prairie Gray Eagle on Tuesday and play the North Shore Storm on Saturday. This week they play Tuesday at home against Osago at 7 and an away game against Cambridge on Friday at 7. The wrestling team had a meet over the weekend at New Prague and will be practicing this week. The dance team has a kick meet at Big Lake at 6:30 on Tuesday, a conference championship on Friday, and a Lakeville North Invitational on Saturday. The girls' gymnastics team has a meet at Becker at 6 on Friday this week. To finish out sports, as the snow flies, avid snowmobiler Reed Postle spoke to other students and staff about their favorite outdoor activities.
Winter starts, snow begins to fall, and ice begins to build. I asked people what their favorite thing is to do during the winter.
What I like to do during the winter, so usually, especially during the Christmas time, I like to go up to Bentleyville and take the family and the fiance up there to go check out the Christmas lights and all that stuff. Usually like to go through hikes through the woods, enjoy it, especially right after it snows, and see everything with the fresh powder on it and stuff like that, so it's usually a good time. And then when it's too cold, I like to hide in my bed and stay as warm as I possibly can, so yeah, that's what I like to do.
I like to ice skate on Lake George.
Get away from Minnesota and go someplace warm.
Hit up the slopes at Wild.
I enjoy spending time in the wrestling room.
Hockey. My dad owns a snowmobile performance shop, so me, him, and my brother ride around quite a bit together.
To sit by a fire, read a good book, and maybe do a little ice fishing too.
Usually like to go ice fishing, and yeah, that's basically it. That's it for sports this week, folks. Check in next week for more progress on our winter sports.
Make sure to check out our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook account, and our website, the sfhscrier.com, for more news.
That's all we have for this week.
And as always, stay safe, Saints.